When the Orlando Magic landed the first overall pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, I already knew who I believed they should take, and that was Duke power forward Paolo Banchero. Paolo was the number one player on my board, and it was pretty set in stone in my opinion. I believe he had the highest upside in the draft with franchise player level ceiling. However, leading up to the draft, it did not look like Paolo was going to be the first overall pick. The buzz was around Auburn sharpshooting forward Jabari Smith Jr. being that first overall pick, and Gonzaga versatile big man Chet Holmgren was basically a lock to go second overall to the Thunder. It was looking like Paolo was going to be the third overall pick to the Rockets, which I would have welcomed with open arms. A Paolo Banchero Jalen Green duo would have been incredible. Big name sources were saying that Jabari Chet Paolo was gonna be the order. It really didn't look like Paolo was going to be that first overall pick, even though I thought he should be the pick. But 24 hours leading up to the draft, something changed. Then the draft officially happened, and Paolo went first overall to the Magic. And I believe they made the right pick at number 1, because I believe Paolo Banchero is going to break basketball. The best way to describe Paolo Banchero is that he's a creative player. He has the ideal frame for a power forward at 6'10", probably closer to 6'11", and 250 pounds of muscle. He has good movement skills that are much closer to a wing than a usual 6'11", 250 pound player. He's a very fluid athlete that has good footwork and moves well laterally. He has a good first step and can finish above the rim. He's not peak Blake Griffin or LeBron James levels of athletic, but he's still a pretty good athlete in his own right. However, it isn't just about physical tools with Paolo, it's also about his skills as a player. Whenever I talk about Paolo's offense, I start with his handle, which I believe to be the foundation for just about everything in his offensive game. Handle is something I think gets a bit misconceptualized. I feel like people look at someone's handle and think about it as how quick they can do a move or how tight and compact those moves are. However, for me, handle is about flow. How does your handle flow within your offense? How does it translate to your ability as a slasher, your shot creating, and your passing ability? And with Paolo, his handle flows with his offense beautifully. I do think he can tighten up the handle a little bit. It's not perfect, but his handle really is an aspect of all parts of his offense. From his ability to slash through the basket, to his ability to create his own offense off the dribble, to his ability to create for others. His handle isn't only a factor in his ability to do all of those things. It also is a factor in his ability to expand upon those things on offense. As a slasher, Paolo uses a combination of a decent first step, good vertical explosion, a good handle, good body control, and decent touch around the basket, as well as overpowering strength to attack the basket. This is a dangerous combination for any player, let alone someone with a frame like Paolo. The other way I believe he can be a monster paint scorer is from the block. Paolo has really good footwork, which combined with his handle and strength can lead to a lot of good post moves. An area where I think Paolo can excel in both of these paint scoring aspects is as a foul drawer. He has the ideal strength, frame, and skill set to be a guy that draws contact at will. And while this wasn't something he always showed at Duke, there were positive signs that he could grow in this area. And another tool that Paolo has to his advantage when it comes to opposing defenses worrying about the drive is they also have to worry about his threat as a shooter. Paolo has real shot creating upside. He seems very comfortable taking shots off the dribble. He's definitely more of a mid-range threat than a 3-point shooting threat at the moment. He's lethal as a poor mid-range shooter. However, I will say this, he's more than willing to take 3-pointers, and it's an area of the game that I'm confident will improve over time. I don't think he will ever be this great 3-point shooter, but a 35 to 38% on decent volume from 3 isn't out of the questions for him in the future. I do think early on teams will try to force him into jump shots because it's easier to deal with his jumper than his strength and athleticism. However, I don't think it will take long for teams to eventually have to respect his jump shot. And when teams have to respect his jumper, they are going to have to fully game plan around him defensively, which leads to his most underrated but arguably his best skill as a basketball player. As a passer, Paolo is unreal for a power forward. He has good vision, he has good understanding of his gravity, which is very important when it comes to playmaking. He's accurate as a driving kick passer. He can throw lobs and dump offs. He can pass from the post. he can make passes in transition, and he makes very good decisions in these areas of passing as well. He's capable as a piano playmaker, as both a ball handler and a roll man, which I'm very excited about to see with a two-man game between him and Franz Wagner. In fact, he has so much versatility as a passer in multiple aspects of the game to the point that I really believe he could be like a 6 to 7, maybe 8 assists per game guy if they feature him in a role like that in the future. Paolo has all the intangibles to be a franchise player as well, and that's just as important as the skills that he has. He wants to take over games. He's shown he's more than capable of taking over games multiple times. He gets better as the lights get brighter, and while this all may sound cliche, I do think these things are important when talking about a player that is a franchise level prospect, which I believe Paolo is. In the end, Paolo has everything that you look for. He has the skills to be a dominant player. He has all the tools to be a 25 plus point per game scorer on the next level, and someone that I believe can be a 6 plus assist per game guy on the next level as well. He has all the physical tools to be dominant as well. It's not just about his skills. He's not perfect and does have things he needs to work on. Would like to see his shot selection improve. Would like to see some of his touch around the basket improve, even if I think it's still pretty good. And defensively, he definitely could lock in more. But what he does already is so impressive. And it's why I think he has franchise player level upside. If I had to guess, I think Paolo's rookie season will look somewhat like his first season at Duke. Around 17 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game. There are guys like Franz, Cole, and Suggs there as well, so I don't think he will put up mind-blowing numbers at the gates. I think that Franz is going to compete for touches, same with Cole. Suggs maybe not as much, even though I still really like Suggs despite the fact that he kind of struggled a lot his rookie year. But I think Paolo will prove to be the guy on the team sooner rather than later, and so is why he was the first overall pick and a franchise level player. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things will be a big help to me. I want to make a few things very clear. Yes, I'm back. No, I'm not fully back. What I mean by that is I'm going to be uploading again. You're going to see a lot of uploads moving forward, but it's not going to be nearly at the rate that it was before I left to really start pursuing this whole anime, coaching, content stuff that I've been doing. That's still the main focus. You can subscribe to that channel where I'm going to be uploading a bit more frequently than I want here. But I still am going to be doing about 1 to 2 videos a week on this channel because I do like talking about basketball still. And with the season coming up sooner than you think, I would really like to get back into the groove of things because I wasn't always planning on not coming back. But that's the plan moving forward. Again, not as frequent uploads. Again, I'll put the link to my other channels if you want to subscribe and get more frequent content about non-basketball stuff. But yeah, with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.